Bingo and the Darkness, a tale of bravery and bright hearts. Bingo was no ordinary dog, he was a bundle of joy wrapped in fur, with eyes that sparkled with mischief and a tail that wagged like a metronome set to happy. From the tip of his sniffy nose to the pads of his muddy paws, Bingo was bursting with curiosity, energy, and an unstoppable love for life. A golden brown mutt with floppy ears and a grin as wide as the meadow, Bingo had a heart as big as his bark, and a nose that could sniff out a picnic from a mile away. Bingo lived in a cozy burrow near the edge of Sunbeam Meadow, a place full of butterflies, wildflowers, and friendly forest creatures. Every morning, as the golden sun peeked over the hills, Bingo would leap out of his nest with a joyful bark, tail thumping with excitement. After a good long stretch and a breakfast of crunchy forest treats, he'd bound out into the world, ready for fun. He chased dragonflies like they were long-lost friends, rolled down grassy hills, and splashed in puddles until his ears dripped. He played tag with squirrels, helped baby bunnies dig their dens, and once even rescued a frog from a thorny patch. Everyone in the forest loved Bingo. He was cheerful, kind, and always ready for an adventure. But there was one thing that Bingo did not love: the dark. When the sun dipped below the treetops and the forest began to hush, Bingo's wagging slowed. The bright, busy world turned quiet. Shadows grew long. Crickets chirped. Owls hooted. And Bingo trembled. He didn't like the way the trees whispered in the wind or how the shadows danced like ghosts on the ground. Even the twinkle of stars made him uneasy. Every evening, just before twilight, Bingo would hurry home. He'd close his eyes tight, curl up in his nest, and bury his nose under his blanket, pretending it was still daytime. Nothing good ever happens in the dark, he'd tell himself. One evening, just as Bingo was settling in, a worried badger knocked at his door. "Bingo! We need your help," she said. "Mimi the kitten went to chase fireflies in the forest, and she hasn't come back." Bingo's ears perked. Mimi was the tiniest kitten in the forest. Always curious. Always cheerful. But not very good with directions. "It's getting dark," the badger said, eyes full of worry. She might be lost. Bingo's heart raced. His nose twitched. His paws itched to help. But then he looked outside. The sky was turning deep blue. The shadows were creeping in. The forest looked different. Scary. He gulped. What if I get lost too? What if I can't find her? What if the shadows swallow us both? But then he thought of Mimi. Alone. Afraid. In the dark. And something inside him whispered, "She needs you." Bingo took a deep breath. His tail gave a cautious wag. "I'll go," he said softly. "I'll find her." Bingo stepped into the darkness. At first, everything felt wrong. The trees loomed larger. The wind whistled louder. Every rustle made his fur stand on end. But then, Bingo lowered his nose to the ground. Sniff. 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 A trail. Tiny paw prints. A whiff of something sweet, like wildflower and kitten fur. He followed it. Step by brave step. Past the owl tree. Through the blackberry bushes. Over the old log bridge. The deeper into the forest he went, the more Bingo's fear began to fade. The stars above twinkled kindly. The shadows no longer seemed to whisper danger, they were just trees and leaves playing games in the moonlight. And then, from behind a mossy rock, came a tiny cry. Mew? Bingo bounded over and found Mimi curled up in a ball, shivering. I didn't mean to stay out so long, she sniffled. The fireflies were so pretty, and then it got dark, and I didn't know the way home. Bingo licked her gently. It's okay, he said with a soft bark. I was scared too. But we're not alone now. He nudged her onto his back and turned toward home. With his strong nose leading the way, and the stars lighting their path, Bingo walked confidently through the dark forest, no longer afraid of shadows or silence. Bravery, in the dark. When they returned, the forest animals cheered. The birds fluttered, the mice squeaked, and Mimi nuzzled close to Bingo with a grateful purr. That night, for the first time, Bingo didn't hide beneath his blanket. He sat outside his burrow, looking up at the moon. The dark isn't so bad, he whispered. Especially when someone needs your light. Bingo learned that being brave doesn't mean never feeling afraid. It means doing the right thing, even when your tail is trembling. And he also discovered something magical. Helping someone else can chase away your own fears. So if you ever feel scared, of the dark, of the unknown, of trying something new, remember Bingo. Take a deep breath. Take one step at a time. And maybe, just maybe, be the light for someone who needs it. Because sometimes, bravery begins with a single paw print in the dark. The end. Or maybe, you're beginning. Can you be brave like Bingo? Can you face your shadows to help someone in need? The night isn't scary when you shine from the inside. Go on, little hero. Adventure and kindness await. But before you begin any new journey, always check with your parents. They're your guiding stars, wise, caring, and there to help you every step of the way. So listen well, and explore bravely.